What is your
most
surprising Cavs player this year? Cavs player, Cavs thing.
Well,
yeah,
you want to start?
Because
you sent me an answer last night. So
yes. So my biggest surprise. In my mind I was saying Jalen Tyson, but that's not what I said when I texted you.
You can say Jalen Tyson.
The biggest surprise is to me it's either Jalen Tyson or the fact that they traded Darius Garland for James Harden is the biggest surprise of the Cavs season. There is no way, if you would have told me a month ago that they were going to trade Darius Garland for James Harden, and in the bigger picture, both the trades they made, just to totally reshape this team. We've seen the Cavs do it in the past, but not like this when you didn't see it coming. Like in the LeBron years, you knew they were going to do something at the deadline. Last year, we knew they were going to go get a piece, not a star, but a piece, and they did with Hunter. But there was a chance, like for most of the year, we thought, well, the Cavs, this is who they are. How many times did you and Jason say, second apron, this is who they are?
I'm shocked with you.
They're the only team in the second apron in the league, and yet they dramatically changed the team, trading a 26-year-old for a 36-year-old, which normally would be a trade in the NBA that would get you crushed. In this case, the Cavs are being lauded for the deal. And so far, and it's a way too small a sample size, and 2 of the 3 teams they've played are trash, and the team they're playing tonight is trash. But so far, the Cavs seem like they might be a significantly better team. Time will tell. We won't know for sure till the postseason. But the trade for James Harden and essentially giving up on Darius Garland is, to me, the biggest shocker and a pleasant shocker in the Cavs season.
Bleacher Report came out with their front office rankings. We kind of mentioned it
Cavs
yesterday.
were 5th.
Cavs were 5th.
Yes, but you're right.
Yeah, Cavs were 5th. Moves like this is exactly why the Cavs are 5th. And we could argue, Kobe's had some moves that have worked and some moves that haven't worked. He's hit on some draft picks. He's missed on some draft picks. That's every GM. But when you look at the big picture of what some of these teams, especially a smaller market like Cleveland, has with the constraints to operate within, he's done an incredible job getting elite-level talent to Cleveland that weren't draft picks.
Well, to be fair, and I give Dan Gilbert credit for this, you said constraints of a small market. He doesn't have those.
No, but I'm just saying, in free agency, you're not alluring the top free agents really to come.
Right,
not,
but
not from a financial
the biggest
constraint.
constraint is being
money
willing to
sometimes.
spend, and that's not an issue.
That's not an issue, and they're the only second apron team in the league, which proves that Dan Gilbert's not afraid of some of the financial things that come along with that.
That's right.
But they've acquired, and Kobe's acquired Donovan Mitchell via trade, Jared Allen via trade, James Harden via trade, Dennis Schroeder via trade, Keon Ellis via trade. You could argue that Max Strus, outside of LeBron James, is the biggest free agent to ever come sign in Cleveland. That was under Kobe.
Max Strus is the second biggest free agent signing?
Not re-signing, but like actual signing. Yeah, I think you can make the case in the history of the Cavs. Max Strus. That's not Dwayne Wade.
That can't be it.
Look at the history of free agents that have signed.
They drafted Kyrie. They traded for JR. They traded for Kevin Love. Who else on that team? Did anybody was a free agent? Nobody.
Acquired.
They traded for Shump. They got JR and Shump in the same deal.
Trade.
Richard Jefferson.
Trade.
Yeah, but those guys weren't bigger than, I don't know how big Max Strus is. I mean,
it's not a $64 million contract and had offers all across the league.
But what has he done so far?
I'm not saying I'm just saying in terms of like Kobe Altman has gotten players to come to Cleveland and agree to come to Cleveland.
Shaq. What about Shaq?
Was that free agent?
I don't remember.
But whatever it was, Shaq didn't get $64 million at that point. My point is, in terms of shock factor, I have a different one I'll get to in a sec. I cannot believe what they've done with this roster.
Yeah,
and wild. It is a testament to Kobe, the front office, the coaching staff for being willing to part ways with guys they invested a lot in.
Yeah.
And understand, hey, our ceiling is here. We need to get to here to validate what we've done. James Harden, Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, these guys help us get to that level we at least believe can help us get to that level in a way that guys we had before.
Donovan Mitchell hinting through intermediaries that he's not sticking around too long if they can't go helped push Kobe.
Grease the wheels for sure.
The biggest surprise of this season so far is the fact that Evan Mobley has fallen back.
That was my answer too.
That's the
Nobody said Jalen Tyson?
I was.
Ant's going to go.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
mine.
Good.
Because
What's your take on Mobley? Because I'll follow up.
well, Evan Mobley coming into this season, there was no Darius, there was no Max, and we always said this team is Evan has to take that next step. It has to be Evan. Evan has to be the best player on this team for this team to get where they want to go. And he had the golden opportunity where they ran stuff through him, and it just completely collapsed to the point where now nobody's expecting anything. I mean, they expect him to be a great defensive player, but like that whole best player team thing, it's gone.
But doesn't it feel like the Harden trade takes the pressure off now? Now it feels like he doesn't have to be the best player for him to win. I don't know, maybe we're just convincing ourselves of that, but it feels like, well, now they've got two guys. Oh, neither one of them is big, but because they have two superstars.
I'm just saying, my thoughts of Evan Mobley coming into this season was he's gonna take over this year. He has to take that next step. He has to be this. He has to be that. And he completely didn't do none of that. And yet the Cavs still find themselves here with a chance to potentially be one of the top teams in the East. So to me, the biggest surprise is Evan doesn't necessarily have to be what everybody thought that he needed to be for this Cavs team to be well. And on top of that, they've been winning without him even on the floor.
My biggest surprise was also the fact that Evan Mobley hadn't taken that next step forward. Because I have all the Evan Mobley stock. I've been talking him up as much as anybody across the Cleveland landscape, media, whatever. I had as much stock in Evan Mobley as anybody. And the truth of the matter is, as Tyvis just pointed out, all the stars that aligned for this to be the Evan Mobley takeover year, they started the season trying to put him in new positions to create offense as a playmaker, as a creator. And, it was only a 6-7 game sample size before they pulled the reins back in on that. But it was not a good track record and a good progress report to make Kenny Atkinson and the coaching staff think he was capable of taking those next steps, taking on more responsibility. And he hasn't been bad this season. He's been bad compared to the next step forward we thought he would take, but he's still been about number-wise where he was last year.
He's a very good player.
The three-point shot's fallen off.
Yeah.
The rebounding didn't take that step forward. He's still a good playmaker, not a great playmaker. And more importantly, I thought he needed to improve his handle to be able to take guys off the dribble, to be able to become that creator and that initiator that the Cavaliers needed him to be. He didn't improve in that area enough for the rest of the team to feel comfortable letting him go. And he's still good, to your point, Bull.
Yeah, but he's averaging 18, 9, and 4. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's just not a superstar. We wanted there to be more, and it feels like, now, I'll make this very clear.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett's this good. Evan Mobley's this good. I'm not saying that they are on equal playing steps. But when we watched Myles Garrett up until the last 2 years, we had said, and we had the same conversation in UCSS 12 times, how do you get more from Myles Garrett? He makes it look effortless. He's already dominating the league. But it feels like there should be more.
But even Myles Garrett, when we wanted more, was higher.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not. But when you watch Evan Mobley, even when he had his second-team All-NBA season last year, he's good, but there's still more. There's still more. And I watch him this year, and he's 18-8. He's still a good player. But it's like, I want more. I want more. And I'm not quite sure if JB Bickerstaff was able to connect with him in a way to get the most out of him. It looked like Kenny Atkinson was on the path with the jump he took in his first season with Kenny. It did not take another step forward in year number 2 with Kenny.
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting for Mobley to find the coach that connects him to pull out whatever the last grabs are. But if I thought his ceiling, and I know I keep reaching above the camera.
Yeah.
If I thought his ceiling was here, I'll get camera level, wherever we're at here. My ceiling's now dropped. I don't think he has that same ceiling.
And for this team to win in the next 2 years, that's okay.
It is.
But beyond that, he can't.
He may not be.
He's not going to be the best player on a championship
thought he could be.
team.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I think we know that at this point.
And the Harden thing does take a lot of pressure off him because
it does.
A, he's not your second scorer now.
Yep.
B, you don't have to count on him to be on the court because you just couldn't trust Darius Garland. And I don't know if any of you guys saw the video out of Clippers practice yesterday. Did you guys see this?
No.
Darius has gone from day to day to now week to week in LA. And there's a video of him walking around, and it's 1 40-second clip. Who knows? Dude could barely walk. Just did not look comfortable walking.
Good riddance.
Take that for however you want. It's 1 40-second clip, but he's not relied on to be, hey, I need you out there because I can't trust Darius.
Yeah.
You don't have to be my secondary scorer.
Right.
And third and most importantly, you don't have to create. Between Donovan and James Harden, the creation plays and the creation opportunities for anyone else not named those two just got.
Well, maybe Tyler.
Oh, Tyler the Creator. Well played. Well played. Well played.
For a second, I thought I got the wrong name.
No. But like no one else is gonna have that many opportunities to be a creator because those
down
two.
The roster, but like, who are you talking about? I thought you meant Tyrese
Proctor. Okay, yeah. But like, he's just not gonna be in many positions to create, and they're not gonna need him to be in many positions to create, which could give us the best simplified version of Evan Mobley. Or it could turn into an Evan Mobley becomes disconnected because he wants more of those opportunities.
What it does is it slides him down to the X Factor role.
Yeah.
That's basically, now that you got James Harden, you don't have to be the 2, you're the X Factor. Meaning you can win a bunch of games because nobody's going to be thinking about stopping you necessarily because they already got to think about stopping Donovan and James. So now you can eat because you're the third guy that the team is even game planning for.
Right.
And if you heat up and play like you did against Boston a couple of years ago, that y'all will cruise through a lot of things.
Yeah.
He'd been playing better before he got hurt too.
Right.
Like he was actually getting back and scoring more. Now we'll see how he fits in.
It'll be interesting tonight.
Yeah, I think he's going to play. And Donovan said yesterday that they've already decided the pairings.
Yeah.
When they split out of the starting lineups, it will be Harden and Allen and Donovan and Mobley. Like those will be the 2 pairings that stay on the court together. When it's a one
Makes
shift
sense.
in, it'll be those 2. When they
He
come
came
out,
out
the
and
other
said
2.
that?
Donovan said that yesterday, yeah.
He be talking like that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're high. I think
And what's the big deal? It's going to be obvious when they do it.
I mean, but still, like,
They're playing the dirt.
It's not going to happen all the time. It's just when they get their break. It makes sense. I mean, Harden and Allen clearly developed some quick chemistry here.
And Allen's a better pick and roll player than Evan Mobley.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
We all assumed that to be the case. He didn't give us the other 3 guys. I don't know where Merrill's going to fit in. I'm not sure where Tyson's going to fit in. I'm not sure where the other ancillary pieces fit in when they do their.
Yeah.
I'm calling them shifts.
Yeah.
You call them rotations, whatever you want to call them. But
Yeah. By the way, I was talking with Dustin about Sam Merrill today. He says 100% Sam Merrill can dunk.
I got video evidence he could dunk.
Oh, yeah?
Shout out to a few people who sent me.
He said the reason he probably doesn't dunk in the game
this was an argument.
is because if he, what's it called when you hit the rim when you try to dunk?
Get stuffed.
No. There's another term. I can't remember. Anyway, he don't want to like the chance that could happen if he takes the wrong step or whatever. He's probably obviously not an elite dunker.
Hung?
You get
Hung by the rim? Caught by the rim? Well, shout out to Lane Whitby, who sent me 2 videos
Lane.
of Sam Merrill dunking. He says he watches every day from Southern Idaho. So shout out to Lane.
How does Lane have these videos?
They're on YouTube from his rookie year.
Oh, I was like, I thought he had made the video himself.
No. He sent me the link.
Okay.
But yeah, Lane from Southern Idaho watches every day. Sent me the videos. So shout out to Lane.
All right, shout out Lane.